반짝이는 눈빛 눈이 부셔 매일 날 감싸주는 손길.
Eun-chang, standing nearby, looked nervously between the two women, his eyes fixed on the floor. Se-young, unable to contain her frustration, grabbed her ticket and threw it at the counter. She demanded an explanation, shouting for someone to tell her why she was being stopped from leaving the country. That was when a security guard holding a radio appeared, followed by two uniformed police officers. They quickly approached and stood in front of the two women. One of the officers calmly opened an arrest warrant and addressed both Se-young and Choi Myung-ji. They were under emergency arrest on charges that included bribery of a judge and multiple counts of fraud involving Se-young. The officers informed them they had to come along immediately. Se-young stared blankly at the arrest warrant and then began to step back, shaking her head in disbelief. Her voice trembled as she asked what she had done to deserve this. Her complexion went pale and her luxury handbag slipped from her grasp, landing on the floor. In her desperation, she began accusing Guhana, convinced that she had been behind the setup. As she screamed, the police closed in and secured handcuffs around her wrist. Choi Myung-ji clenched her teeth, lowered her head, and allowed herself to be restrained, unable to resist. What neither of them knew was that a few days earlier, Guhana had handed Eun-chang a small recorder during a visit, instructing the child to always carry it. She had suspected that Choi Myung-ji might be the true culprit and had devised a plan with Eun-chang to gather evidence. Eun-chang, mature for his age, followed the instruction and kept the recorder close. Choi Myung-ji, unaware, stayed near the child most of the time. One day, she took a phone call speaking in a hushed tone about finishing everything that day. She mentioned the judge had been paid off, the legal documents were being handled, and that by next week, full control would be in her hands. After hanging up, she looked in the mirror, fixing her lipstick, and muttered about how Hyesung Group would soon be hers, and that she no longer needed Guhana. Eun-chang, having recorded everything, quietly turned off the device. He remembered Hana's words about the recorder protecting them and knew exactly what he had to do. He went to his room, closed the door, took out his phone, and called Hana. When Hana answered, Eun-chang told him about the recording. He confirmed that he had captured Choi Myung-ji admitting to bribing the judge. Hana, stunned, asked if he could send the recording. Eun-chang did so immediately, his hands shaking as he pressed send. When the message confirmed it was delivered, he took a deep breath, knowing that tiny device now held the truth that could expose everything. That evening, Hana listened to the recording. Choi Myung-ji's voice played clearly through her earphones. As the word sank in, a tear rolled down Hana's cheek. She whispered softly to herself, acknowledging that Eun-chang had done something truly brave, and that together they would reveal the truth. Hana submitted the recording to the authorities. Acting swiftly, the police issued a travel ban and arrested both Yoon Se-young and Choi Myung-ji at the airport. A few days later, Detective Jo confessed and the truth about the Eugene incident came to light. In court, both Yoon Se-young and Choi Myung-ji were sentenced to life imprisonment, and the case dominated headlines for days. Not long after, Guhana took Eun-chang to visit Shin Yeojin, who was still in the hospital. The room was quiet, filled only with the faint sound of machines. Guhana held Shin Yeojin's hand and gently told her that everything was over and Eun-chang was safe. Miraculously, Shin Yeojin's eyelids fluttered and she slowly opened her eyes. When she saw Eun-chang, she tried to smile despite her weakness. Hana told her that her grandson had missed her dearly. Shin Yeojin began to cry, whispering an apology and gratitude to Hana. In her tears were a feeling of guilt, love, and a heartfelt sense of peace. The truth had finally come to light and their long nightmare had ended.
'Cause you are